that you meditate 10 hours a day. Well, yes, I told you, I met a lot of monks and yogis that meditate 15 hours a day. They are still, very unintegrated human beings. So what does it mean to be spiritual? To have a nice turban, to put the incense stick and do pranam and being vegetarian? I met also many of those, and trust me, again, it doesn't necessarily make them, wholesome, integrated human beings. So that's why, for me, this word, it's a very dangerous word, because everybody put into it whatever they project into it. But then when you try to really sort it out, what actually does it mean? It's again very cloudy and really hard to define, because mostly it's a projection of an archetypal idealization that you, me, and us as a civilization put into that. Because we are the civilization that we come from, when we say a spiritual realization, let's be honest, you are talking of the idealized version of the Jesus Christ. It's always sweet and kind, never angry and gentle, and the kind of floating midair, full of love and never angry, and just goodness all around. And that's a fact. Subconsciously, when we think of a spiritual ideal, we think of that goodness, of that love that knows no hatred, no anger, no revenge, and that it's equal for everyone. But that doesn't exist, because the Jesus that then you actually go and read in the Gospels is a very different Jesus, very hot-tempered, angry very often. And I have never seen these in any of the monks, Christians or Buddhists or Hindus. So we have to then reset the projection of the archetype of what means spirituality and match it with, first of all, reality. And second, we have to then rebuild what actually means, the definition. What for yourself, I don't even now claim culturally, but just for the individual. What do you mean with that? Build that archetype, describe it clearly to yourself, because you are actually describing who you want to become. And then work in becoming and embodying that archetype that you yourself describe for yourself. Don't look for it out there in other people, because it doesn't exist, it's a projection. But if you can describe it to yourself, what for me means to be spiritual, to be spiritually accomplished, spiritually realized, well, describe it in the most minute details, and then live by it day by day to try to, approach it, knowing that probably you will never approach it 100%, but in the getting closer to it is the journey and is the satisfaction. And that's the invitation that I have for you and for people now. Define for yourself, what is it for you spirituality? What actually does it mean for you when you think of the embodiment of spirituality? Well, describe it in the most minute details that you can and work to embody it, and don't expect anyone but yourself to be that. An exercise that people don't do, and I invite you, after we finish to speak, do it, just pen and paper, and for the next few days, maybe a month, just keep adding to that vision of what does it mean to be spiritual. The more you make it real and clear here, the more you understand a lot of nonsense and kind of idiosyncrasies and paradoxes and just non-real things that you had in your mind. And by finally, for the first time, make it clear, you discard what is not, and actually for the first time, you can tell to yourself what is. And then from there, you go back and you say, okay, what do I need to become this person? What do I need to make this happen? What did I do that helped me? What did I do or I'm doing that is not helping? The next phase of your journey really begin. Because then you start to question everything that you did or that you do or that you want to do, and you start to sieve it through this filter. And you say, okay, does it match this? Does it help to go toward there? What proof do I have that doing this will help me to achieve what I, designed or determined to be what for me means to be spiritual or spirituality, right? And only then you can start to think of the practices, routines, rituals, exercises, belief systems that can help you, behavioral patterns that can help you to become that. Because that's the process that I have done.
Yeah.
Okay. So after looking, and you understand that the Buddha is not outside, and doesn't matter how perfect the teacher is, you will always find, the projected imperfection, because it's what you see, is what you project, because it's your idea of what it means to be spiritual. And based on that, the protocols, way of living, the choices, practices, that I tried, and I know that they support that. If they don't support that, cast them off. Waste of time. Irrelevant.